Hey, what's up guys? Today, I'll show you a horror film, The Eighth Night. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film begins with a narration of a legend. A monster that came from hell to the human realm about 2,500 years ago caused human suffering. So Buddha separated its red eye and black eye, which is the monster's source of power, and imprisoned them in separate sarira caskets. Both the eyes ran away, but only the red eye managed to escape long by concealing itself inside human bodies for 7 days. On the 8th day, the red eye stopped running and looked back, thinking that it had run far enough. But when it realized it can never escape Buddha, it willingly surrendered itself and got locked up. The two eyes were hidden in the deserts and cliffs of the far east and west. Buddha gave his disciples instructions to make sure they never cross paths. In the year 2005, a man named Kim drives in the middle of the desert searching for the casket. He plans to prove that the legend of the Diamond Sutra is real. He stops and exits the car, staring at an area where tall sticks protrude from the ground. After a while, a whole team of people digs up the area. Kim picks up what appears to be words written in stone and places it beside him. He starts digging up the sand and encounters a casket, which he holds. After that, various news articles about the object and Kim were issued in Korea. Not long after, news about Kim forging the relic gets released. 14 years later, an older Kim passes by a store and watches the announcement of a total lunar eclipse happening soon on a TV. Kim later arrives at his house, complaining about his life. He's angered that people don't believe him. He takes out a tray filled with blood collection tubes from his refrigerator. Once the lunar eclipse begins, Kim starts reciting aloud the text written in the stone, performing a ritual. He opens the casket and pours out the blood from the tubes, as well as his blood in it. He anticipates the evil that will follow upon awakening the eye, but he's disappointed when nothing happens. Just as he's about to kill himself with a knife, a red eye comes rolling into his sight. Kim slowly goes towards it, pointing the knife at the eye. The eye dilates and presumably possesses Kim. The scene shifts to a temple with an elder monk. He realizes that the red eye has been awakened as he looks up to the moon, proceeding to open a box, in which the other casket is placed with the black eye hidden inside. And so, the first day of the eyes concealing within humans commences. The film briefly introduces Jin, a former monk who's now working as a construction worker. Meanwhile, Elder Monk speaks to a younger monk named Monk Jr., who took the vow of silence. Elder Monk talks about the legend. He tells him that the red eye will awaken and will eventually join the black eye after the sacrifice of 7 victims over 7 days. To stop them from ever reuniting on the 8th day to recover the monster's power, they must kill the virgin shaman, which is the 7th pillar, before the sacrifice ritual is completed. Somewhere in a forest, a hunter gets possessed by the red eye. The second day starts. A couple is seen in a motel room, watching TV. The woman shares with her boyfriend how she received a free physical examination and blood test at a meditation group. Unbeknownst to them, the possessed hunter enters their room to attack them. Monk Jr. wakes up from a bad dream. He's greeted by Elder Monk's back sitting in the darkened room. Elder Monk instructs him to find a former monk and tell them that the monster is back. Monk Jr. sees the relic placed beside him. The next day, Monk Jr. wakes up and figures out that Elder Monk has died in his sleep. Meanwhile, Detective and his fellow investigate the case of the hunter and the couple. Detective is informed that the boyfriend was murdered in the motel room and the woman is missing. She was seen walking away from the motel after the incident from the CCTV. Detective discovers something in the room corner and learns it is the hunter's body, which oddly dried and decomposed away in only a matter of hours. On the other hand, Monk Jr. is unable to open the relic and gives up on it. He asks the other monks the whereabouts of the former monk and begins his journey to look for him along with the relic in his bag. That night, Jin is plagued by voices, all who are asking for his help so they can ascend. The 4th day commences. As Monk Jr. is in a station waiting for his ride, his bag with the casket is taken away from him by a young lady who disappears in the crowd. Detective is intrigued by the case and reviews the events with his fellow workmates. He's confused by the fact that the victim girl is found someplace near the motel, her body being in the same condition as the hunter. Detective gets called in by his chief and is reminded to let his fellow go, as he has become a burden in the workplace due to his unwell body condition. Monk Jr. finally arrives at the address where the former monk lives. He waits for him until night. It's revealed that Jin is actually the former monk they are trying to find. Now that they're inside Jin's house, Monk Jr. informs him about the death of Elder Monk, as well as the return of the monster, apologizing that he's lost the casket. On the other hand, the Red Eye possesses another woman and a delivery guy in the same meditation group. The possessed delivery guy watches the house in which the virgin shaman lives. The woman Monk Jr. saw at the station is living there. She appears to be unperturbed by the man as he stalks her movements from outside the gate. As Monk Jr. sleeps, Jin is visited by Elder Monk's spirit, who warns him of the red eye. He reminds Jin that he must kill the virgin shaman. In his narrative, the spirit reveals that Jin left the temple because he refused to replace Elder Monk. Additionally, Jin disregarded his obligation to assist lost souls in ascending, which is why countless souls are attaching to him. Jin prepares himself to go outside and sets off to find the virgin shaman once Monk Jr. has awakened. By then, it is now the 5th day. Jin treats Monk Jr. to a meal. Jin notices his beaten-down shoes and buys him a new pair. He thanks Jin for getting his vow of silence, thus accidentally breaking it. Together with Monk Jr., they look around to find the address written in the back of a photo Jin has, with an unidentified shaman in it. A spirit of a man helps Jin find where the shaman is currently residing. He warns that they'll die if they go there, but he gets ignored by Jin. Detective is called in to conduct a more thorough investigation and finds a woman's body stuffed inside a sewer. Like the first 2 victims, the woman is also discovered to be drained and decaying. A dent hole in her skull is evident, just like what was found in the others. On the bus ride, Monk Jr. gets closer to Jin through a conversation. In a flashback, Jin, his wife, and his daughter were unintentionally run over by Monk Jr.'s mother. He was forced to become a monk after the deaths of his wife and kid. Monk Jr.'s mother requested that Jin adopt him in a letter when she passed away due to the guilt of her mistake. Clearly feeling guilty after thinking of killing Monk Jr., Jin goes to leave but stops. He waits for Monk Jr. to wake up and asks him if Elder Monk really instructed him to follow Jin. Monk Jr. shakes his head, but he's still granted to be with Jin to search for the shaman. Jin orders him to look for shaman services nearby in an effort to locate the virgin shaman. Actually, it's easy to find a shaman, but it's hard to tell who it is the virgin. Later, after learning about the murder, Jin visits the tunnel where the woman and delivery motorcycle were discovered. As Jin examines the tunnel, he is watched by Detective in his car. He prevents Jin from leaving and checks his identification for any criminal records. Jin attempts to flee when Detective commands him to unzip the bag, in which he sees an axe. The two get into muscle wrestling, and Jin is forced to abandon his map. Simultaneously, Monk Jr. finds the virgin shaman's house, where the young lady lives. He's surprised to see an old hag in the window, but the old hag disappears as the young lady enters. He's accompanied by her as they wait for the rain to stop. He asks her if they'd met before, but she shakes her head. He's about to exit the place, but halts when he hears the bell ringing. Behind him, the old hag appears again, exactly where the young lady is sitting. When Monk Jr. looks back, the young lady has returned to the spot. Monk Jr. leaves the place. He notices a student peering at him. The student discloses the red eye and smiles creepily, showing he's possessed. Monk Jr. flees in terror to go to Jin. In the precinct, Detective finds out more info about Jin from his fellow. He's told of Jin's background and is informed that Jin was never registered as a real monk. Detective remembers the map that Jin was looking at and leaves the precinct with his fellow. In the car ride, fellow Detective gives a talisman to Detective so he can be protected. As it turns out, he owed Detective for saving him from committing suicide. They manage to find the abandoned map on the ground and use it to track down Jin. Meanwhile, Monk Jr. tells Jin about the virgin shaman place, also about the student. Jin tells him that they must part ways, but Monk Jr. refuses to go back to the temple. Jin tells him that he must kill the young lady. Back with the police, the two detectives are informed of a runaway student. A police tells them that the girl joined a meditation group created for people who attempted suicide. They get a clear look at a photo of the girl, who is the same student that Monk Jr. saw. He instructs fellow detective to investigate the reported body found somewhere in the mountain with the same description as the other victims. Detective manages to locate Jin and follows him quietly. Luckily, Jin manages to get away from detective's sights. Monk Jr. arrives first at the shaman's house and tries to convince the virgin woman to go with him and hide, as if he got the skill to tell she must be a virgin. Detective receives a call from his fellow and is informed that the body found in the mountains is the body of Kim, the man who discovered the Red Eye's casket. Fellow detective finds out that every victim in the case is connected, as they're all members of the meditation group that Kim has created. The 5 victims in the photo are already dead. Fellow detective reveals that the other 2 victims left are the runaway student and the virgin shaman. Detective asks for the shaman's address and heads there. Jin locates the shaman's home. A woman inside signals to a note as he walks in. When Jin confronts the woman, she has talismans strapped to her face. He readily strikes her with his axe. Detective intervenes in time to stop him, and the two resume their muscle wrestling. The eye-possessed student arrives before he can shackle Jin. Detective gets thrown away, as he's being protected from further harm thanks to the talisman his fellow gave him. When the possessed student notices that the young lady fled, Jin follows her, while utilizing his own blood to carve a talisman onto his axe. As the student encounters fellow detective, she pretends to be afraid and tricks him into defending her from Jin. She then holds fellow detective and possesses him, while the student's body rots right away. Instead of killing Jin, fellow detective orders him to return to the temple, where he will perish. Jin runs away as the possessed fellow detective kills a police officer who arrives at the scene. The seventh day approaches as Monk Jr. returns to the temple with a young lady hiding in a shack. Jin rushes to the station to get a ride to the temple. He has to wait 3 hours for the next stop. Jin is encouraged by Elder Monk's spirit to finish everything. He sets off for a ride as fellow detective travels by car. Fellow detective arrives first and trashes the temple where the body of Elder Monk is placed. Meanwhile, detective is in disbelief at his fellow's sudden disappearance. He goes back to visit the virgin shaman's place. There he sees the old hag. It's revealed that she is actually the real virgin shaman, and that the young lady that Monk Jr. was with is actually a ghost that she found living with Kim. She reveals that Kim had rescued the lady ghost when she was an abused child. She had been prepared by Kim to serve as the sacrifice that would help the monster unify its two eyes. In order to use their blood to call forth the red eye and later transform it into the 7 stepping stones, Kim also deceived the members of the meditation group into donating blood through the free blood tests. In order to possess fellow detective later on, Lady Ghost sticks to the virgin shaman and uses her to trick him into giving his own blood by making him a talisman. The casket that Monk Jr. was carrying a few days ago was taken by the virgin shaman, who was controlled by Lady Ghost. The shaman blames detective for what happened to his fellow, as the man should have died back then. With the casket back in his possession, Jin discovers Monk Jr. in the shack and realizes that he had been by himself all along. They prepare to kill the possessed fellow detective in the forest. The 8th day officially begins. Jin chants in the middle of a huge fire they created, attracting fellow detective. They successfully trap him inside a ritual circle while he's distracted. Jin plans for the red eye to possess him and Monk Jr. to deliver the final blow. The possessed fellow detective, however, disclosed that neither Lady Ghost nor the virgin shaman was the 7th pillar he required for the sacrifice ritual to reunite the two eyes for the monster. The position was given to Monk Jr. as Jin left the temple and didn't become Elder Monk's successor. This meant that the only person who could open the casket containing the black eye is Monk Jr. Fellow detective orders Lady Ghost to find Monk Jr. Despite being told by fellow detective to shoot himself for being such a failure in life, Jin chooses to shoot the possessed fellow detective instead, but it has no effect at all. Monk Jr.'s robe, which contains a talisman Jin created, is removed by Lady Ghost as he's still bewitched. He runs away from the possessed fellow detective. Detective tries to stop his fellow, but he's thrown away because the talisman is protecting him again. Fellow detective's left leg, which is weak, is shot by Jin, who's wounded. Fellow detective crawls to Monk Jr. Jin strikes fellow detective in the back with a fatal blow as detective shoots him unexpectedly. Detective walks over to the possessed fellow detective, but his body has already started to rot. Monk Jr. has been successfully taken over by the red eye, which then tosses detective onto a deadly branch, killing the detective. As the black eye materializes, the red eye grabs Jin, who's dying. Since the monk's mother was the reason for his family's tragedy, he changes into a young Monk Jr. and terrorizes Jin into strangling him. Nevertheless, Jin still insists on stroking the young Monk Jr.'s cheek. The red eye transforms back into the adult Monk Jr. just as he was going to be killed by an axe. The monk's arm is caught by Jin as he chants a spell. He was secretly using his own blood to paint another talisman over the monk's face when he caressed it. As a result, the red eye pushed itself into Jin, who begs Monk Jr. to execute him. When the monk musters the courage, he kills Jin and therefore prevents the reunion of the red eye and black eye. The night ends with Jin accepting his fate and passing away. The scene changes to a desert. Monk Jr. walks along the borders of India and Pakistan and heads to the location where the red eye casket was dug up to return it. The moment a bloodied and shackled Lady Ghost appears in front of him, Monk Jr. extends a hand to her. She accepts it, and the chains on her feet unlock, and she's finally freed from the prison that Kim has burdened her with. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your day.